What's going on, guys? We're here today with Braden. He is a operator, and he partnered up with Innovate, I think, a few months back. And he went from having no sales reps to actually doing how much, Braden, in that time window?
45K in the first month.
Sick. It's crazy stuff.
Easy.
Okay. Yeah. So for everybody watching, if you guys don't know, me and Audie, we've started two companies, the Concierge, which we ended up scaling to about $5 million a year in our client portfolio, which led us to start Innovate, which is our core offer and core company on what we're running right now, which Braden happens to have leveraged and be a part of. That's why we're getting some insights today. So yeah, the way we're going to structure this, Braden, we're going to give obviously the audience insights into you. You know, what you were before, kind of exactly what business you were running, right? And before you even found me and Audie, right? And then your experience with us, kind of what we were able to do for you, the value we were able to bring to your business, and then kind of the outlook for you right now. Okay, so going into that background, just go ahead and give us, a little 30-second to a minute tangent on exactly what you do, where you came from, and you know what kind of business you run.
Yeah. So basically, I'm like, if you've heard the term like growth operator circulating around, like that's, I guess, what I do. But it's not like the typical, like, "Oh, I'll take 50% of your business and manage a community. So I basically just partner with creators and help them sell info. And I basically just like manage the whole sales team, optimize their funnel, email marketing, basically full stack. So they just create content. And so at the time, I'd partnered with a clothing brand creator where we sold an offer teaching people how to start and scale their clothing brands to 10K.
Okay. Nice, nice. And I mean, for the other founders out there that are like even seeing this term around, because I know it's thrown out there a lot. What kind of led you to even start that in the first place? Because I know everyone's like entrepreneurship journey is pretty broad. So what exactly led you up to this point, and what have you tried?
Yeah, so I actually kind of started it by accident. I initially had an agency and then I bought someone's offer who I thought was going to teach me more about growing my agency. And then they kind of pivoted their offer and I was like, cool, I'll try this operator thing. And I was in it like before it got super big. So it just worked out really well for me. And I actually think it's hard to get into as a beginner. Like I don't recommend it as a beginner, but it is a very leveraged business model once you do have like at least a tiny bit of experience.
The agency or what you're doing right now?
What I'm doing right now, operating.
Okay, nice. And then just so we can get like a good time horizon for that as well. How long have you been able to do this? And like, I guess the clients you've signed and how much you've been able to produce in that timeline.
Yeah, so we started about a year ago today. And I mean, pretty much all my clients failed up until the one I'm working with right now, which we've done like I think 115K rev and like 85K cash in the past like few months.
Which is insane, insane, insane. By the way, no, shout out to you because this is the first time meeting you, so I'm getting a lot of good insights. I've never met you. I just knew you used Innovate. Okay, so I mean, and because a lot of people post a lot of stuff on the internet, right? So obviously that's a crazy result, but also kind of walk me through like the constraints that you were facing when starting this out because it's like, oh, you can make 10K a month, 100K a month, a million a year business, right? But like, what are the actual constraints that you faced and like the hardships you had to actually go through to actually generate that kind of money?
I mean, definitely the hardest thing is like outreach, like getting your first creator. But once you sign your creator and you're actually like locked in, the next hurdle is just getting an offer that hits. And so we had been running low ticket, just like a monthly subscription. And that was kind of asked because you literally have people paying you $50 a month and they're in your DMs asking for the world. And then if you don't deliver the world, then they churn. And so like right around in late April, early May of 2024, that's when we launched High Ticket, selling like one-to-one coaching for 3K. And that's when it really took off. Like we launched, made like 12K in the first 5 days. And then that's when I hit you guys up for the second launch where I was like, okay, I saw you guys working with my boy Dylon as well. And I was on a trip with him and he'd just be like, oh shit, we just made 5K. And I was like, fuck, I need what you have. So that's when I hit you guys up. You guys placed a setter and a closer very quickly. and we just ran it up. And that was my first time actually getting like I'd say passive income, which was cool. Like I was just on trips, and Keyshawn was just messaging me like, "Yo, just close," and really cool feeling.
Okay. Yeah, and then I guess that's good stuff. No, so to give more context on exactly what you do, because there's a lot of founders that watch me and all these stuff. What is the exactly that you do? Almost like pitch them on exactly what you kind of have to offer to the market and like the value you're bringing to these businesses.
Okay. I mean, basically, I'm a full stack entrepreneur. Like, I'm the CEO of your business and I do everything so you can just create content. And because that's the highest leverage thing. So, my goal is basically to convert your audience, keep your audience paying customers, and then ascend them to a back end offer. So, I basically build out the funnel, write VSLs, write emails, um, and then actually structure the sales process, structure the offer, do market research, just like a bunch of shit. And also like manage the creator, help them optimize their content. Um, yeah, literally everything.
Okay. No, no, definitely. I think people got some good insights into obviously your background. And before I pass the baton to Audie to go in your experience with Innovate, I have one more question. Because I want to touch up on what you just said because you said you were with your friend Dylon, who also does exactly what you do, right? But he was doing like okay, $5,000 a day, right? And you're like, okay, well, I need exactly what you guys have. So, what is like the specific reasons that you wanted to reach out to Innovate to see what me and Audie had to offer? Because I mean, obviously, yes, we were providing results for Dylon, but what was it in your business that you wanted help with?
It was honestly buying my time back. Like that was the main thing is just being stuck in the DM setting people all day and hopping on calls all day. It
Yeah.
really takes up a lot of time. And especially as a founder, it's really important that you are just always focusing on the highest leverage tasks. And whenever something takes up a bunch of your time, just hire it out as soon as you can.
Yeah, no, you touch a great point. 2 second tangent before I pass it on to Audie. That's like just a crazy misconception of like founders that just want to set and close their own deals. It's stupid. In the market that we live in, you won't be able to scale any offer. You won't be able to scale your business if you spend like half of the year operating within it. Because when someone wants to run an offer, oh, let me run an offer. Let me just make some sort of program course, and then I'm going to go into one-on-one mentorships, and then fulfillment's going to take like an hour, and I'll give an hour to these guys. It's usually what everyone offers. But then on top of that, if they're taking the calls, dude, half of your day is already gone. There's no predictability to scale. So no, you touch a good point, and then no, Audie, I'll let you take over the experience with Innovate because I think we touch up on a good spot for Braden's past experience. So I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, some really great points. And a big thing you brought up is like when an entrepreneur goes from like hustler to CEO, it's really stepping away from doing day to day all the little tasks. Because if you're setting, closing, managing, like you really can't do much at a certain point. You get capped out at a certain amount of income. But yeah, I really want to cover your experience with these two reps that we did staff for your offer. Now, before I dive into this, I want you to kind of share to the audience why you needed those reps at that very time. Because I do remember you brought up that you're going to launch in like a week. Like you had 7 days before launch. So I definitely want the audience to hear what kind of happened there and where we stepped in.
Yeah, so like I kind of broke down with my story, we did our initial high ticket launch. We closed like 12K in 5 days. And then we were just built out a program and we were going to relaunch. And then I was planning on relaunching and doing it all myself, actually. And then I talked to Dylon and he was like, bro, like link up with these guys. They're insane. And so I hit up Adi literally like a week before launch. And he was like, okay, cool. So when do you need them by? And I was like, yeah, in like a week. And I remember you're like, oh shit, okay, I'll see what I can do. And it was fire. You got me a killer setter like very quickly. We launched. I was still closing deals like for the first little bit. And then I was like, hey, I think I'm ready for a closer now. Then you got a closer staffed in like 7 days.
Awesome. Yeah. So we did, I think, in less than 7 days for both, which is also awesome for you. Obviously, you're able to scale better. What was the process like of actually getting that rep? Because I don't think people understand what that looks like from your side of stuff. So definitely walk the audience through what that looks like between us when it came to staffing that rep or both of those reps.
It was really fucking easy. Like I'll say that much. Because I've hired on my own before. You have to, I mean, for one, you have to vet people yourself, and you have to. They're just a bunch of shit that you have to sift through. Um, and so with you, it was smooth. I just said, "Yo, I need this." You sent me some prospects. I was like, "These people look good." You set me up on a call with them. It was smooth. You even helped me with the actual like onboarding process, and you gave me some pointers as well for like training them. Um, so that was also pretty nice.
Awesome. And what would you say that we helped you with the most? Because, like you mentioned, there's different things you have to do when it comes to vetting them, making sure they're good, doing the interviews. What would you say is the most like relieving part out of all that?
The most relieving part was that it was just very like it didn't take up mental real estate at all. I just said like, "Hey, do this for me," and you went and did it. I didn't have to think about it. It was just easy. It was smooth. Um, yeah, that's the main thing.
Awesome. Awesome. And then one massive thing that I don't think anybody talks about, it's cultural fit. Like you could have a rep who's done a lot of cash collected or they're really experienced or hardworking, but the cultural fit is not there. Now, explain from your perspective if that was important for this offer and how it did benefit the offer if it did help you out.
Yeah, no, the culture fit was fucking awesome. So like even though the reps were a bit newer, which makes sense because my offer was newer, right? You can't place like super qualified people on an offer below like 30K a month. But they hop on, they're working their asses off. Like Loretta stayed up to like 2 a.m. booking calls the first night. And the culture was great. They were just sending like gifts, they were getting hyped up. It was just a lot of fun, and like Keyshawn and Loretta just worked their asses off, which was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, that is a big thing, cultural fit. Like you could be the best rep, and if you're not a good fit, there's really not much that you can be doing. Now, I want to touch on a very big point, which is churn. A lot of people are afraid of outsourcing talent because they are afraid of churn. Now, what was your experience like with churn when it came to an offer like this, if it did happen?
Like in the past.
Yeah, in the past, and then what happened with us?
Okay. I mean, in the past, I was just closing my own deals. Like this is my first experience with
Hmm.
you, like placing it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like you guys were smooth. Like if anyone churned, you guys were able to just place a new person pretty quickly. So that was nice.
Cool. Yeah, so experience-wise, that's kind of all I had to cover on my end, which is some good stuff we touched on. AJ, you could dive right back into the next points of the interview.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So the last kind of bit I would want to give to the people are definitely the outlook, or is definitely the outlook for you now, Braden. Obviously, how many offers are you managing right now?
Right now, one, and I'm about to launch a second one.
Okay, yeah, and we had a good conversation before, and that offer is gonna kill.
Gonna
So,
rip.
like, walk us through obviously where your business, the stage of your business is at right now. It's obviously scaling. What are like the next steps for you in your business that you see in like the next, I'd say, couple months by the end of the year? Where are you looking to take this company that you're currently running?
Yeah, so I mean, the goal is to be at 50K a month profit in the next few months. And basically, next hires, I'm going to hire a COO under me and then a copywriter as well. So I'm very excited for that. And then just like acquiring more clients, just having the sales team running smooth, and just like buying my time back. So, like yeah, I said, I'm working on the business, not in the business.
Okay, and no, because you touch a good point right there, and I guess let me ask you, when scaling to 50K a month profit, you know you're going to run into other constraints. You're going to run into something that's going to cause you friction. That you obviously you said you want to get your time back. You're going to hire a COO, right? So in order to get to 50K a month, what do you know that you have to implement in your business right now in order to get yourself out of fulfillment to actually start working on the business?
I mean, with my current offer, it's actually an offer issue. changing the price point because there are a lot of broke motherfuckers. Nobody in the past 60 days has booked with a net worth over 3K. So we're changing the price point to lower it. And we're also changing the funnel a bit in a mid-ticket offer. I think that'll scale. And then this new offer, just pretty much hiring out a sales team. Like I think that'll be the main thing, ripping organic. And then once organic starts to dry up a bit, maybe dabble with some ads in the future.
Okay. No. That's good stuff because you're touching on a good point here. Because in the space that we're in right now, I actually don't think that, like, especially with the competitive market that we're facing, I don't think people really understand how much it really takes to run an offer, like a successful offer that can make 100K a month, 200K a month. And then on top of, obviously, because it's a two-way street, right? Because you can only do so much. There's gonna come a point where the offer owner has to carry some of the weight, right? It's what you're running into right now, dude. We're getting unqualified leads, but on top of the fact that you're getting unqualified leads, that can cause your sales team to churn, right? And then you have to rehire again, and then you have to restart the whole process over again, which is going to cause a lot of different things. That's why me and Audie, that's the whole purpose of actually why we started Innovate too, because the two constraints we faced when we started the concierge was, one, there wasn't actually motherfuckers that were making 100K a month consistently every single month without relying on the algorithm, that actually had good infrastructures for a sales team to operate at. It was all broken. There wasn't enough of those. Like really, me and Audie, we hopped in this space. We saw so many people making so much money, and we're like, dude, everyone's got to be rich. But then once we actually saw the back end, it's like, dude, where is everybody? Where is everybody? Because like the trajectory we're going on right now is the market's getting smarter. There's so many people hopping in the space. There's 5 million businesses starting every single year. Every single year, there's 5 million more businesses starting. So it's just getting more and more like, I don't want to say saturated. Saturated is not the right word, but the competition is getting higher. So to run an offer nowadays, you have to build so much trust. You have to have so many infrastructures. And then to put the sales team in the best place to win. And then the best sales reps are not going to want to work for anyone that's under like 50K a month. And that's why churn is so high.
Right.
So, sorry to go on a tangent, but
that's facts though.
Yeah, it's the truth. Like it really takes so much to run an offer. If you think you're just going to make content and then make $1 million a month, you're cooked. Mm-hmm. Really, it's honest. So I guess no. For everyone else, if you were to start over, Braden, from back like a year ago, what are the things that you would do differently on obviously signing your clients? Let's say you did have your client a year ago. What are the things differently that you would implement into your business? Even if you knew about Innovate like a year ago, would you outsource setters immediately? Would you get yourself out of the closing role immediately? What would you do differently if you had all the information, all the access to the knowledge you have right now a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, for one, I would have started as a setter. Instead of going straight to being a business owner, I would have started as a setter, then a dialer, then a closer, and then maybe gotten into this. I think I actually got very fortunate with how things worked out. But yeah, being a business owner a year ago with what I know now, I would definitely, I mean, I'm launching a new offer in 2 weeks, same situation. Instead of closing deals myself and dialing myself, I'm going to hire stuff out a lot quicker because I know how to, and I know the offer is going to rip. So we're basically just going to build the plane as we jump off a cliff.
Yeah. Okay. And then I want to emphasize that because that's it's important for offer owners that are in like the agency space, or if you're selling any sort of high ticket. Why now differently in 2 weeks would you decide to outsource the entire sales process and the entire thing? Why would you want to do that?
To scale quickly. You can't, if you're doing it all on your own, you can't scale quickly.
Okay. Yeah, but like why can't you scale quickly? Because people need to understand like the things you have to face on the sales side. Like why can't you scale quickly? Some people don't even know the answer to that.
Good
Just
question.
break it down math wise. Say you want to make 50K a month and your average order value is 3K. And so that would be what would that be? Like 15 closes a month, something like that, a little over that. Um, and say you're like show rate, factor in show rate, close rate, you need to be taking like 60 calls a month, right?
Yeah.
On average, each call is an hour. Like that's 60 hours of your time. Take into account like dialing and setting as well, maybe like 100 hours of your time. Think about if you spent that time working on marketing or getting more leads or restructuring the offer or actually like moving the ball forward with the business.
Yeah, I mean, like, God, I've talked to so many offer owners that just they hold on to, oh, dude, I want to close my own deals. I have a high closing percent because I'm the CEO, but it's like, all right, well, the opportunity cost of that is you're just saying bye to a million a month business. Like, you just don't want a million a month business then. Like, you're not going to see Alex Ramosi closing his own deals if he was running a high ticket. Gym launch. Once he got to a certain amount of calls, he knew the opportunity cost of not focusing on marketing, focusing on fulfillment, right, and building gym launch up was what was $17 million a year. That's the opportunity cost. So no,
Actually, to riff on Hormozy, he did talk about that, how he, like back in when he was a gym owner, he said he literally had to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Or actually, I think it was like 4 a.m. His like 4 a.m. to like 6 a.m. shift was just deep work. Because if he was just closing deals all day, he literally couldn't move the
Mm-hmm.
business forward. And then the first time he hired a sales rep and his rep closed for him, he like pulled over on the side of the road and started crying because he was like, holy shit, like someone else is closing for me.
And I think people overlook it because, if you're spending 8 hours a day on calls, that's not only just time for your business, but you're losing time to no shows, you're losing time to training, and you're just losing time to spend with like your family, just normal stuff. I don't think anybody talks about this. The whole goal is to step out of everything and not sacrifice your time. So before we kind of wrap it up, one big question: how many hours do you think you save now that other people are doing that work for you, like week to week or even month to month?
Month to month, probably like 100 hours a month, honestly. Like, that's a
That's
lot of time.
insane. 100 hours you're saving per month. Jesus.
I mean, if you take into account like DM setting and closing, like definitely.
Crazy stuff. Very crazy.
yeah, no. So we're gonna kind of come to a close here, Braden. I feel like people definitely got a lot of good insights into your experience before, right? Your experience with Innovate and kind of the outlook for you right now and what you would do differently. So for the people that are watching back at home, if you want to recreate Braden's success. Okay. There is going to be a free resource doc and a free platform in the link in the description where you guys can go get access to some infrastructure that me and Audie have built so you can implement into your business so you can save time and actually start scaling your business. Not actually be like a slave to your own fucking company. Okay. Um, and no, Braden, do you have any questions for me and Audie before we cut this off?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Cool. Appreciate you hopping on, Braden. Peace out.
Yep.